What's good, everybody? This is Gentleman Jugg.
And this is Son.
Yeah, you're gonna have to work on that, boy. Welcome back to the Gentleman JUGGCAST. We've been gone a minute. Lot of personal issues, and then we went to Vegas.
Yeah,
and that was a good time. But personal issues aside, we're back now. Got to get back on that horse and horse.
Gotta get back on that horse and eat grass.
Whatever the hell. So we watched a movie, but it's been a while since we watched that movie, so we're not going to talk about it. But what is the movie?
Well, it's The Punisher.
Yeah, 2003?
Probably.
I think it's 2003. We'll talk about that one on the next podcast. That's what we're going to talk about. But on this podcast, it's all wrestling today, baby. We're doing all of Raw, or we're doing Raw, SmackDown, and Money in the Bank, which just happened.
Yeah.
And let me get something off my chest about how we watched Money in the Bank. Okay, so me and you were watching Money in the Bank, right?
Yeah.
And, we're watching it on Peacock because for whatever reason, WWE, which actually was doing pretty good at running the freaking pay-per-views when they were there.
On the network.
Yeah, on the network. They decided to go ahead and pay, Peacock, which I believe is run by NBC. And they decided that they're going to go ahead and just play all of the WWE content there, which is fine. Okay, fine. I can't go to the WWE app, but I can go to this and I can watch it. Fine, whatever. But you know what? The shit needs to work. Okay? The last couple freaking pay-per-views that we've watched on Peacock, have all glitched at some point in time.
But this Money in the Bank
Money in the Bank one, we're like watching, it was like I like entrances. That's what I like. I like watching the entrances when a wrestler comes down to the stage. Male or female, I don't give a fuck. I like watching entrances. And on this particular time, we're getting ready to watch the men's Money in the Bank entrance. And I didn't see a single one because it started to glitch right there.
And it kept turning off and on.
And then it blue screened on me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what in the fuck? So I was very pissed off. And luckily, we tried like 3 times, right?
Yeah.
And luckily, on the third time, I was like, we're either going to have to sit here and freaking wait a couple hours for it to freaking completely buffer, and then we'll watch it, which it'll be like 9 o'clock at that time, trying to sit there and watch 2 more hours of wrestling.
Yeah.
Or, we can try again. And luckily it worked on the third time. And then it was fine after that.
I mean, there were still tiny glitches.
Couple buffering spots here and there, but for the most part, it worked. God help them if I would have missed, Roman Reigns versus Edge.
I'm so glad that didn't happen during Roman versus Edge. Oh, no.
Like I said, I like entrances. I want to see the entrances. I'm not going to go back and watch the entrances now. I don't give a shit now, but when they're happening and they're right there in my face and I'm ready to watch them. I don't like when I play wrestling video games. Some people like to skip entrances. Fuck that noise. I like to watch them.
Yeah.
Even if I create my own entrance, I'm watching that shit. I'm watching it. I like it. That's my thing. I've always liked it. But I'm going on a tangent about entrances in wrestling, and that pissed me off to the point now I got to sit here and say, Peacock, fix your shit-tacular app. Okay, I'm watching it on my PS5, and you fucked it up. This should not fucking happen. We've had streaming for fucking too long now, right?
Yeah.
It's like we've had streaming for too fucking long. You need to fucking get your shit together, or as Morty from Rick and Morty would say, get your shit, and put it in a box, and keep it together. Right? I think that's what he says. I think that's how he says. I don't know. Don't listen to me. I'm a fucking maniac. But I swear to God, man, I'm serious. That shit pissed me off.
Yeah, it was bad.
Okay, so all right, whatever. So we're talking all of wrestling for the past week. It's really because I'm kind of just trying to just get more into wrestling since the crowds are back finally.
Well, now that the crowds are back, I watched the full episode now.
You because of the crowds?
Yeah.
How long is that gonna last?
Well,
he's like, until I get bored with it.
I guess until I get bored. I don't know. The thing is, the Thunderdome, I did the same thing, and then I got bored with the screens and stuff. I'm like, all right, I'll just stick to the YouTube clips.
Look, you know what? Look. I didn't hate the Thunderdome. I didn't hate it. It did a bunch of things for me. It got us out of that freaking performance center.
Or I call it the garage.
Yeah, it was basically a garage. You put like at least 4 cars in there. I didn't hate the performance center. I thought the performance center was fine, but it was better than when they just had empty freaking rooms. Like that bugged me when the freaking pandemic first started and WWE decided to do the stupid decision of keeping wrestling going.
We just have like WrestleMania like in a garage.
Yeah, and I'm like, look, it couldn't have happened at a worse time. But wrestling in an empty room is just fucking awful. I need some interaction, and when you sit there and have wrestlers freaking using a microphone in an empty room anyways, I'm like, why? What's the deal with that? You can just talk. I can hear you.
Or there's some people who like walk through the crowd.
It's just ridiculous. I didn't like it from the very beginning at that point. And then they started adding, other wrestlers from other promotions that either we do or don't see, people who are in development, all that stuff, NXT, all that shit. They started adding those guys and girls, and that made it better.
Yeah.
It made it a lot better. And I was cool with that. And that didn't bother me at all. I still got to see the entrances. I still got to see, things happen. And I was thrilled about that. I was like, at least, there's some interaction. But then when they got to the Performance Center, I was like, I like the Performance Center.
You mean Thunderdome?
Thunderdome. Thank you. Thank you. The Thunderdome to me was great.
Yeah. They brought back the pyro too.
They brought back the pyro. It was all good. I didn't really need the fans on screens, but I mean, I had it and it was fine, but I didn't really need it.
I mean, I guess the fake crowd noise, it had to be there, but I mean, I didn't like it.
The fake crowd noise bothered me the most.
Yeah. I guess it had to be there, but I didn't really like the fake crowd noise.
Yeah, that bothered me a lot, because you would have, they would boo, and it's like, is that your way of telling us who I'm supposed to fucking cheer for and boo for? I decide.
And I don't know if it felt like to me, every single match they made the crowd say, this is awesome. Every single match.
Every single match, look, and sometimes it was awesome, but I decide.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't fucking tell me when you think it's awesome. Like, you should be saying this is awesome. Now that makes me sit there and think, is WWE freaking pumping in this is awesome to get a chant started by the crowd? I don't know. Are they freaking trying to do that at all to sit there, like, get chant started? Like, holy shit, whenever they say that kind of stuff. I don't think they said that at all in the Performance Center, or sorry, the Thunderdome.
No.
I don't think they said holy shit at all, but
no.
They do say holy shit at live crowds. So,
yeah.
But whatever.
I don't know what it was about the Thunderdome, but I always thought it looked better on SmackDown than on Raw.
Because it was blue?
I guess.
I don't know. Whatever the case was, it just, I'm glad it's gone, but I enjoyed it for the time it was there. Didn't bother me at all. I was happy to have the pyro back. I was happy to have everything back.
At least it served its purpose.
Yeah. And now the crowds are back, and this is great.
Yeah.
The crowds are fantastic. And did not realize how much I missed actually having live crowds.
Yeah.
Like, for a second time, because like we had live crowds at WrestleMania. I mean, it was spread apart and still, but
still good.
It was still good. And I love to have the live crowds, and that was great and everything. And so, having live crowds, it basically watching SmackDown when the crowds came back was like, I want to say it was like, what's the word? It was like a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Even though it was just a regular fucking SmackDown, it was like a pay-per-view. Everybody was hyped. The wrestlers, the crowds, everybody was hyped. I was into it. I'm like, yes, this is my shit. And they gave me a new stage, and I like the stage.
Yeah.
I like it, Nothing will ever replace the giant fist from SmackDown for me because that was my shit. I love that giant fist. I wish that didn't go away. But whatever, this is fine. And so what did they do? They kept the fucking pyro.
Yeah.
And I'm into it. Yes.
Better not get rid of it after
Please don't get rid of the fucking pyro. You don't realize how much I need the pyro. I need it. Okay. Like you remember, I think I showed you some Raw from way back when I was watching it, and they had pyro up to almost every wrestler, except for like The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin, Mankind, Triple H. Just about everybody else had pyro, and it was like excessive pyro. Yeah. Just like explosions on the thing. This right here is just a couple sparkles and pops, but it's better than nothing. Okay. Just keep it, don't get rid of the shit. I want it. I need it.
Well, one thing I hope SmackDown continues to do is, I don't know what it is, but whenever they have Roman Reigns defend his title on SmackDown, they treat it like a pay-per-view match. And they have all the, wrestlers be telling you who they think's going to win.
It's fine until it gets boring. Yeah. It's fine for right now. They're looking for, I think WWE is at the point now where they're kind of looking for something to stick so they can they can run that into the ground.
Yeah.
But whatever, it is what it is. I mean, the WWE universe, they went back to saying what, which
I don't think that'll ever be gone.
It'll never be gone. It when I was in high school is when it started. So, it'll never be gone. And this particular instance, I missed it.
Yeah.
Because they didn't say it at all for the whole last year. And of course, WrestleMania happened. People really aren't doing promos during that time.
No.
So,
I feel like we're getting a lot of those on Raw.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that when they have their next show at Raw, which is going to be in front of a live crowd, it better be. I'm pretty sure it is. But
imagine they go back to the Thunderdome for Raw.
Right? What the hell is that going to be all about? That'll just fuck it all up.
No, then Vince and Manchik come and be like, "Where you been?"
Yeah. Where the hell have you been? And I'm like,
and then he just leaves, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, which is weird. I don't know. He could have said more. He could have not just come out at all. They could have just ran the fucking thing.
So he just let Roman come out. Maybe Roman should have said that.
Yeah, but we're getting ahead of ourselves though. We gotta talk about Raw.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, so take me there.
All right. So Raw happened on Monday.
Is usually when it happens.
Basically, I think this is the episode where we had Drew McIntyre and Jinder Mahal. They confirmed that they're feuding for sure.
Yeah. Why are they fucking feuding?
Well, you see, because Jinder Mahal was like, one time I texted Drew. He took 6 days to respond to my text. No one should ignore me. Friends don't do that. And then they fought in a match, and Jinder Mahal took his sword. And then he broke it in front of Drew. And Drew's like, that's not the real sword. That's a replica. The real sword's right here.
The one sword that's made from the Loch Ness monster tooth.
I mean, he could have said, you can't break this one.
Yeah.
So they're feuding because that. And then Drew's like, okay, you may have broken my replica sword, but I'm going to break your real motorcycle.
Yeah, they've been trying Jinder ride this motorcycle for I want to say a couple of episodes, and I'm like, somebody's going to destroy that thing. Whenever somebody brings a prop that they covet or love a lot, in WWE, it's going to get destroyed.
Like it happened to Randy Orton a couple
times. It happened to everybody. Okay. Kofi Kingston gave Randy Orton a Daytona USA car. I want a NASCAR, a Daytona USA. I don't know why I said that. A NASCAR. And with his face on it. And then Kofi Kingston didn't give it to him. the legacy gave that to him. That was Ted DiBiase and Cody Rhodes gave him a fucking NASCAR, and Kofi Kingston poured paint on it, and then he hit it with a hammer.
Yeah, and then Daniel Bryan just painted yes on one of his cars.
Yeah, I mean that's if you got it, they're gonna destroy it. Like didn't they do it to Bad Bunny's Bugatti?
Well, they just put like tiny paint.
They put a little bit of paint on it because I mean that's a $3 million car. It's like you better not fuck up this dude's car too bad. I'm like, I would love to have seen somebody freaking take a hammer and just shatter the windshield on the Bugatti or something like that. That's what I would have loved to have seen.
Or he could have done what Stone Cold did and like drive like a monster truck over it.
Yeah, so whatever. The modern day Maharaja, basically, he drove a motorcycle up to the building, and Drew McIntyre destroyed it, and that's a feud. That's the reason why to fight, not because of a fucking text. Okay,
but the text is what got them to their first match.
I mean, couldn't they have been fighting, but like both of us became WWE champions after we got jacked. One day, like I'm just thinking off my feet here, like what's dude Heath Slater?
Yeah.
He was our friend, and when you abandoned him, he told me, and it enraged me. And now I'm pissed off because you abandoned our friend who was there for us when he needed us. Well, or when we needed him, he was there for us.
Well, he could have also said you abandoned me too.
And you abandoned him, and then you also abandoned me.
But instead, so you didn't answer my text message for 6 days.
Yeah, that implies to me that they've been talking this entire time, and then just one day Drew happened to get busy fighting, I don't know, Randy or Sheamus or Lashley or whoever he was fighting. It is what it is. Yeah. I'm not into that. I'm not really into the feud, but I wanted to see them fight.
Yeah.
And so they're gonna fight. Especially if you watch Money in the Bank, they're gonna fight some more. But whatever.
I wonder if they're gonna get like a sword fight match.
I doubt it. A sword versus motorcycle. That's probably the fight.
No, he would chop the motorcycle in half with his Loch Ness tooth sword.
Yeah, his Loch Ness tooth sword. I don't know. It's just ridiculous, but it's such a. I'm not a fan of Drew McIntyre's freaking stories. I don't know who thought that was a good idea to let Drew McIntyre talk all this stupid shit, but it's like let him do his own thing.
You're starting to sound like Riddle, Drew.
He's a lot sounding like Riddle, which I like Riddle. I think he's fine. He's basically just stealing all of Randy Orton's moves.
Yeah.
And trying to act like Randy Orton. And look, it was fine when Randy Orton was there. But Randy Orton has not been there for I don't know, a month now. For about as long as we've been gone.
So basically, Randy Orton's he went to the place where The Fiend went to.
Yeah.
And also where all those other wrestlers who disappeared went to.
Yeah, like Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode.
And Keith Lee.
Yeah. All the ones that have not shown that they've left WWE but are not there. Whatever.
Jinder Mahal was one of them, but then he came back.
And he came back, left for a long time, and then came back.
Oh yeah, that's right. Jeff Hardy's in that place too.
Yeah, wherever the fuck he is, I have no idea.
It just seems like so many wrestlers on Raw just disappear. I mean, some on SmackDown do too, but it's mostly Raw.
I don't know, it's WWE as a whole. It just irritates me. It makes sense on NXT, but this doesn't make any sense to me. But whatever. It bothers me. It bothers me a lot, really.
It's not even an explanation where you were. You just disappear, then you show up. You're like, I was always here.
Yeah, they just show up. They just show up. And when it comes to Raw, I mean, what other titles are there? It's going to be the freaking is it Intercontinental that's on Raw?
No, that's SmackDown.
That's SmackDown. US title. That's Sheamus. I mean, he got his face broken a while back, so we're kind of just like seeing what's going to happen with that while he's fighting, Humberto Carrillo.
I don't know. I think the U.S. title should get some more challengers in there. I mean, for all the people you're not using, you could use them for the U.S. title.
Yeah. Title hunt, whatever.
I remember when John Cena had it, and like he faced everybody with it.
Yeah, but whatever. It is what it is. Bobby Lashley is fighting Kofi Kingston. The feud looks cool, but like the last promo that Bobby Lashley did, I liked it. I thought it was great. He finally got to a point where he's like, you know what? Yeah, enough of the bullshit. It's this is horse shit.
He was like, this is stupid.
I'm done with all this. I need to fucking beat the hell out of Kofi Kingston.
Yeah, I'm like, it's like, yeah, you gotta start winning now.
Yeah,
Bobby.
you gotta start winning. Yeah, stop fucking around and start winning. So that happened, and that was pretty cool. I was okay with that. I don't know what's going on with the Raw tag titles at this time. I know that AJ Styles and Omos still have it.
It's weird. Like they'll appear on shows, but then like disappear for a while, but then like come back again.
I guess they're teaching Omos how to wrestle. I don't know. He's like a bunch of other people that get into wrestling that are giants. Unless it's the Big Show or Andre the Giant, most giants, or I guess Braun Strowman too, but before he became just another guy, most giants that come on there, they don't know how to wrestle. They're just big for the sake of being big,
and they just do like big move, like just push you or
which look, I like big guys to sit, like guys who are like 7 feet and up, which is fine. I'm okay with that, but at the same time, it's like, it's have wrestlers on who are giants that can wrestle.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if you can find a Big Show and or
even Mark Henry.
Well, Mark Henry's not a giant. He's not 7 feet tall.
Oh.
Probably about as tall as me. So, but like it's like, okay, I guess they're teaching him how to wrestle. You can't just sit there and look big and that's it, but whatever. AJ Styles almost they're doing their thing against the Viking Raiders.
Yeah.
I
kind of want to see AJ go after Bobby Lashley though.
I'd like to see AJ do anything other than what he's doing.
Yeah.
I'm over this fucking thing.
I mean, I guess I wouldn't mind seeing AJ versus Roman.
It's fine. But when it comes to the women's titles, I couldn't give a shit. Either the Raw women's title or the tag team titles. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care at all.
I only cared about the tag team titles when
Bayley and Sasha Banks had it.
Yeah.
I cared. I was like, this is cool. This is a good story.
Because they went everywhere.
Yeah. And I was great. Whereas like the tag titles, the women's tag titles here, it's
like after they lost it, they just became not important anymore.
No one cares. I mean, you thought that they were going to be with Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. I mean, I really didn't think they were going to be great, but whatever. And where the fuck is Shayna Baszler?
Oh, she found the place where all the Raw wrestlers who disappeared go to.
Yeah, I guess. It is what it is. Whatever. But Nia Jax is still around, so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm done talking about Raw. What you got about SmackDown?
Well, I mean, for SmackDown, we, obviously, this is what the second time we get the crowds back.
But like the first time on a show.
Yeah.
Like that. So good. Like I said, it was great.
And then obviously we started off with Roman's entrance.
Yeah, which, I always want to see Roman Reigns' entrance, and now I get to see it in front of a crowd, and I thought it was excellent. Look, I'm a sucker for entrances. I've said it before.
I don't know. I think Roman has the best entrance for now.
Right now, for me, yes. And even though it takes like 30 fucking minutes for him to get to the damn ring, I love it. The song, the fireworks, the whole ambiance, everything, it's great for me. I love it.
Plus, you got Paul Heyman with him.
I could take it or leave it. I like that he's there. I get why he's there, but I could take it or leave it. But hey, love the entrance. And it takes fucking forever, and I love it. It's great.
Maybe he's just taking forever. He's like, we do this on my time.
Yeah. But hey, the goal is that we want the bloodline. They started really saying it now, which I'm glad that they're finally like really saying it, because they used to not say it. They used to just like they said it once and then that was kind of it.
I think it was like Jay was like, yeah, we're the bloodline, right, Roman? He's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, and now it's like now they're fucking saying it.
Now he's like, okay, we're the bloodline now.
Yeah. So I'm into it. They're looking for their tag titles back, to be 7-time champions, and then Roman Reigns is looking to keep his thing from Edge. Which, look, I like Edge.
Yeah.
I don't want Roman to lose the title yet.
No.
I'm not over it. I'm still in the honeymoon phase. It's been a year and I'm still in the honeymoon phase.
I don't think it'll ever get old for me.
I like it. He needs to keep that title because I think he's great. Honestly, with the title.
In my opinion, just let him keep it
for a while long. Like, look. My dream was to see Roman Reigns and Jay and Jimmy Uso have the tag titles, and they all have their titles at the same time, and then they all come to the ring at the same time with those belts,
and they all keep the titles for a while.
At least for like a month. Okay. And then I'm like, okay, all right, now let's see if you guys can keep it interesting. Now that you've gotten my attention by having all the Usos and Roman having their title belts, now let's see what we do.
You get The Rock for WrestleMania, maybe.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Given the last person that showed up at the end of Money in the Bank, that's probably going to be a while. But like I said, I am super into this. I'm like, yes, let's fucking do this. So
it's just funny. Whenever I see Roman, I'm like, you can't beat him.
I'm just looking at like he's gonna walk out the title holder. He's like, gonna have it.
He's like he's gonna beat you up and then he's gonna leave.
Yeah, and after that, I think let's see, we had I'm cool with Rey and Dominic Mysterio. They're fine.
Obviously when Edge came in, the crowd cheered pretty loud.
Yeah, which I expected.
Yeah.
The show was all good. For me, it was all good.
Yeah. Because SmackDown's good.
SmackDown's a good show.
I mean, I guess since for the first time we're doing this on Monday, we'll have to actually see if Raw's any good tonight.
Yeah, we'll find out. We'll find out what's going on. I mean, I'm gonna watch the whole freaking show this time.
Yeah,
all 3 hours of it. But whatever. So, when we come back, though, we're gonna talk about Money in the Bank. So that's gonna happen. And we're back. So I think we gotta talk about Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Okay, we've been burying the lead for a while, at least for a good 30 minutes, longer than the people want to listen to us bury the lead for. So
yeah,
it's about time for Money in the Bank.
In the Bank.
And I don't hate this this pay-per-view. I really don't. I actually think Money in the Bank's a good one.
Yeah.
It's one of the few of them that one event turned into like the entire thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like when Money in the Bank first happened, it was all about Edge. He was the first Money in the Bank winner, cashed it in on John Cena. People know the story if they're listening. Yada, yada, and yada.
And then there was also Seth Rollins.
Yeah, where they called his the heist of the century, which I'm like, okay.
Because he did it at WrestleMania, I guess.
Yeah, but it's like, what? I mean, I like that Seth Rollins got it, but for me, like a heist is always like you get in, the plan, you get out. And the thing is, for me, it was never really a heist because Seth Rollins ran like a half mile to get down to the freaking ring to beat up, Roman Reigns or was it Brock, whoever it was, and then have to run a half mile back up the ramp. They're like, it's the heist of century. I'm like, look, it's great. I like it, but don't sit there and tell me that both of these wrestlers were so exhausted that they couldn't see a guy running from a half mile away, get in the ring, beat you up, and then take the fucking title, and then that's it. But whatever. I don't care. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that people know what the deal is, but if you don't, Money in the Bank, you have to basically get a briefcase at the top that's hanging down from the ceiling of the stadium, and that's it.
Just use a ladder to get up there.
Just use a ladder to get up there. There's usually about 7 to 10 guys in the ring at the time, or girls, and when they have theirs, and that's fine. I don't remember all the people who were in the women's, but I do know that Asuka was also in it, and she did not win.
No Becky Lynch giving you the title this time.
No, none of that happening. Now, in this particular instance, though, the pre-show happened, and where the Usos came out and they freaking won the tag titles off of the Mysterios.
It was a good match.
I liked it. I thought it was great. 3 times I sat. I knew that the Usos were going to win. I knew it. Okay. I knew it from the very beginning. I'm like, they're going to win. But then, like, somewhere during the middle of the match, like, they kept having these outrageous false finishes that were great. And I kept saying, I was actually feeling, I'm like, are these fuckers going to win? Are they going to win? And then, but that's what I want in wrestling. I'm already expecting to know who's going to win.
But give me some doubt.
Because you can see the patterns.
Yeah.
A lot of times you can see the patterns. You watch wrestling enough, you can see what's going to happen. Like, okay, they're going to do this, and they're going to do this, and this person's going to win, and that person's going to do this, blah, 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 and I knew who was going to win, but they still gave me some good false finishes that I was all about.
Yeah.
I was into it. So the Usos did win, went right backstage, talked to Roman Reigns. Finally, Jimmy acknowledges Roman Reigns, which, about time.
But what was funny is that, like, Jay said it first, and then Jimmy just sat there. Roman's like, what are you doing?
You going to acknowledge me? Yeah, man, I acknowledge you. Okay, you the tribal chief, but but the thing is, Roman is the tribal chief until he loses the title.
Yeah.
Once he loses the title, then, that would make Jimmy and Jay the tribal chiefs, right?
Yeah. I mean, they could make that a story if he loses.
It's going to be a big deal because, like, I don't know what's going to happen. I would assume that, the power is going to be fading over time where Jimmy and Jay are going to sit there and be like, look, man, we are tag champions. We bring in just as much respect as the freaking Universal champion.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Could be interesting.
We'll see. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. But what I am happy is that I got to see all 3 of them holding their belts, and that was great for me.
I don't know why, but during that segment, the crowd kept chanting boring.
Why? I don't know what that is.
I'm like, what?
What? This is excellent. As a matter of fact, the crowd did get into it toward the end. They're like, okay, fuck that. We're in.
Yeah, but during that one time, they're like, it's boring.
Somebody must have said something, and then just that it was. I don't know what it was, but whenever they said that hyped up everybody in the ring.
Yeah,
everybody was like, "All right, we're way into it now. We're fucking this up," And they did it, and so I'm in. But other than that, though, once they won and they went back to the back and they did their thing, I was okay with it. And then I think the next match that came out was the women's Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
What's her name?
The one who won.
Yeah.
Well, they say Nikki ASH, but then they say almost a superhero. Like,
yeah.
We didn't know that was abbreviated.
I mean, they don't need to say ASH.
They could just say almost a superhero.
They don't need to say almost superhero. They could just say Nikki ASH, and that's it.
Yeah, but they always say they're like it's Nikki ASH, almost superhero.
Yeah, that's her whole fucking name, and I'm like, okay. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride. Almost a superhero. Whatever. I don't give a shit. Look, I've seen her a couple times be the almost a superhero, which is fine. I'm not complaining about it. She's good at wrestling. She's great at it. I've seen the superhero thing before. The first one that I am aware of, I don't know if there's another one before that, was the Hurricane. That he was a superhero, or at least he said he was a superhero, tried to do all kinds of superhero shit in the ring, which was cool. You know, it was dope. I liked it, but I've seen the superhero thing before, and it's fine.
Yeah.
You know, so, but she won. I assume she's gonna fucking cash in at some point in time. I think every single woman who's cashed in Money in the Bank has gotten the title.
Yeah.
Not every single guy who has cashed in has got it. It's either Baron Corbin or John Cena. One of those two didn't get it.
I think John Cena.
Because John Cena, he actually freaking like, Monday I'm going to challenge you, so you better be ready to go. You know, he did like the face thing where I'm going to challenge you. Then most everybody like runs out and just goes and gets it.
Yeah.
You know, they wait for the guy to be injured or something like that. And I like the threat of the other presence of Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
I like the threat of it. Like, once the threat is gone, because like the threat is interesting until it's gone.
When it's gone, it's like, oh.
You know, yeah, like at any point in time, you know, somebody's going to be in the back. He's just sitting there just lurking. You know, just sitting there watching, just waiting.
Like they did with Miz and Drew.
Yeah, you know, which is exactly what happened. Well, that was different. You know, Drew he got beaten up by Bobby Lashley just so that the Miz could come down and get it, so that Bobby Lashley could get it after that. You know, but usually it's like basically the perfect one is Edge. He was back there just lurking and waiting and looking. And when John Cena was like all bloodied and everything, he's like, I'm cashing in, and he did and beat that ass. You know, which is fine. That's what I like. You know, it's like that always ever presence of somebody just in the back, just like looking. You know, I'm gonna get him. You know, and Nikki ASH, almost a superhero.
That's the full name.
You know, she got her chance. Since she's a face, I'm assuming that she won't do that. But who knows?
I don't know. Maybe they could do this thing where like she turns heel and they'll be like, Nikki, almost a super villain.
Yeah.
ASV.
Yeah. I didn't think about that. They could probably do that. Yeah.
That would be the heel turn.
Yeah. And she's wearing red instead of blue or some shit. I don't know.
That would be the heel turn.
She's wearing red and yellow looking like McDonald's.
Yeah.
Or Burger King or Wendy's. You know, pick one. In-N-Out, pick one. But yeah, I thought it was fun. But then immediately after that, they had the I believe it was the Bobby Lashley versus Kofi Kingston.
Yeah.
And hey, look, I liked it. It was a complete squash match on Kofi Kingston, where Bobby Lashley just beat the dog shit out of him.
It kind of reminded me of Brock Lesnar versus John Cena at SummerSlam.
You know what? It reminded me of Brock Lesnar versus Kofi Kingston for the title. Okay.
Yeah, that was like
the same thing.
Yeah, that was like 5 seconds though.
Like, you can't beat. Well, Bobby Lashley was like, you know, drawing it out. You know, like he put him in the freaking hurt lock and like turned away from the ref so that the ref couldn't see Kofi tapping out.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, okay, well, you know, he wants to beat that ass, and he did. He devastated him, and I bet it hurt. And he beat his ass. And then, like, it reminds me of the same thing that happened with Brock Lesnar. That Brock Lesnar was all business. I'm here to fucking do a job, and he did a job. You know, whereas Bobby Lashley's like, I want to torture him, and so he did. Beat his ass, and Bobby Lashley retains the title.
I'm just thinking, kind of funny if Goldberg came back.
Oh my gosh. If Goldberg would have came out, I'd have been like, I would have turned it off. I don't give a fuck. I would have turned it off. Look, it's not that I hate Goldberg. It's just I don't need him to be here. The dude doesn't challenge for anything other than the freaking world title.
What if he shows up and he's like, I want the women's championship now.
Who's next? So, you know, but whatever. I'm it's what it is. So,
I mean, I guess if you did Goldberg versus Bobby, you could still get your spear versus spear, because Bobby does the spear.
Does a spear, you know, but like, who doesn't do spears these days? But whatever.
Oh, like almost everybody.
Yeah.
Even Drew did one at one time.
Yeah. So it is what it is. But I I saw. What was next? It was the
I think it was the men's Money in the Bank match?
No, because before that it was the women's.
It was the
Raw women's match.
Now it's the Raw tag team titles, I think, with AJ Styles and Omos versus the Viking Raiders.
Yeah, that's right. And this one was much better.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't like it, but it was much better.
Yeah.
You know, watching Omos out there actually fight and actually get hit hard and so on and so forth. I truly thought the Viking Raiders were going to win and we're going to get some really good tag team wrestling after this, but no.
I mean, the crowd were chanting. I think they were chanting. It was either take the titles or change the titles.
Something like that, which I'm like, I agree. Take the titles. I'm done with this. You know, we don't want to see this shit anymore.
I was thinking, like, maybe if Randy Orton was there, they would have, used RK Bro to get them, but probably, I guess not.
Yeah. Yeah, but whatever. So I was fine with it. It didn't bother me so much watching that match. I mean, you did see Omos actually wrestle and not just look like a no selling beast.
I mean, he was just up like his ninja self, just without the sleeves.
Yeah. Well, he didn't have sleeves when he was his ninja self either, right?
Oh, so he just needs his mask and he can be the ninja.
So, but whatever, other than that, though, the match was fine.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was going to be the Raw women's match. And I got to tell you, I didn't watch it because I went to go get some snacks. That was my commercial break.
Yeah, I watched it.
And when I came back, it was over. So,
I mean, it was good, but, I've already seen it.
Yeah, and so Charlotte Flair wins. And I swear, if Rhea Ripley fights Charlotte Flair at SummerSlam...
And then just wins it back.
I'm like, I'm done with the two of you. Freaking Nikki, come out here and just get a title, okay? Stop this nonsense.
What if then after SummerSlam they fight again and then Charlotte wins it back?
It's like, I'm done with you girls. I'm done. You look the same. You fight the same. Everything's the same. Nothing is different for me. Like, and I'm sick of your freaking feud back and forth.
Just fight someone else now.
Fight someone else, both of you. Charlotte, quit freaking going for the titles, and freaking Rhea, stop fucking acting like you're, a badass.
This is my brutality.
Yeah, whatever. I didn't watch the match. I was done with it. I was done with it before it came on. Like when I saw it was coming, I was like, I'm gonna go get some snacks, and left, came back. That was it.
And it ended
right. And it ended right when I came back. Just in time to sit there and freaking miss all the entrances for the men's Money in the Bank.
Because,
because of fucking Peacock.
That bird.
They fucked it up for me. But the match was really good.
Yeah.
I liked it. I liked the whole thing. Kevin Owens sitting there freaking flipping off of something. And then
Drew just trying to claymore every person he sees.
Yeah, trying to claymore everybody. I mean, there were a couple of times in there where I'm like, get on the fucking ladder. What are you doing?
That was also with the women's match, too.
Yeah, I cleared the whole ring, and there's nobody here, so I'm just going to stand here for a second and look awkward before jumping on the ladder. And it's like, get on the ladder.
So you can get on the ladder, just climb slowly.
Yeah, that's what they do. They climb slowly up until, like, so they have to go get it.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, okay, whatever. But like I said, the match was good. Jinder Mahal comes in and freaking steals Drew away.
It's funny, like, they just kidnapped Drew.
They just took him. I don't know where they took him.
They just picked him up and just carried him away.
They just took him.
He's just gone. So that means when I see Raw, he should not just show up like nothing happened to him. He should be like trapped, like locked in a chair or something.
He should come back all beaten up. Like, what happened? They just let me go.
They took my sword.
They took my sword. They just let me go.
He's like,
I got my ass beat for 3 days, or no, 1 day, because it happened yesterday.
He's gonna be like, I have to get my sword back.
Whatever the case, I would like to see him come back having his ass beat.
Just like with like 2 black eyes, all beat up, and like he's like, I have to get my sword back.
Yeah, that kind of shit. I would watch that. I would like that. Like, yeah, so Jinder worked him over. Okay, wet that boy up. So, But other than that, though, like I was fine with it. It wasn't that big of a deal for me. It was not bad.
I mean, I guess we had Riddle just using the RKO.
Which like there's a perfect time for Randy Orton to have come back, but
and
still,
just RKO him. Be like, stop, that's my move.
I know you're trying to fucking be me and all that stuff like that, using my moves. Knock that shit off. Whatever, I think RK Bro is just over. I guess I don't know. Randy hasn't been back for like a month. He's in the same place that freaking the Fiend is. So,
I mean, the Fiend could come back tonight, but I don't know.
I'd very much doubt it.
I feel like he's just. I mean, it's like he never came back to life. He could have just stayed dead.
He could have just stayed dead
because nothing changed.
Yeah. Alexa Bliss had powers.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that really changed. She's got powers now. And in her Money in the Bank match, she was just standing there like a jackass until they finally said, let's just ladder this bitch. And they just threw under a bunch of ladders, and that was it.
I mean, she tried to possess someone and made them climb back down the ladder.
She tried to possess Zelina Vega, which, side note, I'm a fan of Zelina Vega.
Yeah.
I think she's gorgeous, and she's also good at wrestling, in my opinion. There's other women who aren't good at wrestling.
She's the last of Andrade and
what's his name?
Angel Garza.
Thank you. Yeah, he's back on NXT, isn't he? I think he's back on NXT.
Well, I'm
not sure.
I'm sure Triple H got something for him.
Yeah, he's like, you get to have Zelina Vega. You give me the Angel Garza.
It's like when Finn Balor had to go to NXT. He's like, you keep the Fiend, but I want Finn Balor.
Yeah, which I missed Finn Balor being somewhere in Money in the Bank somewhere. But whatever. I mean, I'm glad he's back.
Yeah, she showed up on SmackDown and attacked Sammy.
Yeah. Which I'm glad Finn Balor's back, but whatever. But other than that, though,
just don't mess it up this time.
Yeah, please WWE, don't fuck this up.
Imagine they give him the Universal title and then just make him lose it the same day again.
Well, he had to vacate it because he was injured after he won it.
Yeah.
He was the first Universal Champion. I would like to see him go against Roman Reigns.
The first Universal Champion versus the current Universal Champion.
I think that'd be pretty dope.
Yeah.
I would like to see that, but I don't think we'll get there.
No.
But, whatever.
But if you're running out of opponents, you got some.
Yeah, you got some people. Of course, Big E's going to be in the back lurking because he's the one who won this one.
Yeah.
Which, I was glad. I'm like, good. I'm glad to see Big E, freaking win this thing.
I mean, Seth almost got it, but then Big E, just did his finisher off the ladder and just crushed
it. It was
him.
an amazing big ending, which I'm like, Big E, you landed on your back like he landed on his face. You should be hurting too, but no.
He's like, no.
Just bounce off the fucking, just dust off. Yeah, I'm good.
Like, you see me in NXT? I destroyed everyone there.
Yeah, and now I'm here doing the same thing on fools. But what? He didn't say that, but.
I mean, he said it somewhere.
I imagine him just saying it, but he didn't say that there.
Yeah, but he won the briefcase.
I'm glad with that. I don't know if he's gonna freaking be in the back lurking, or if he's gonna sit there and do the face thing and challenge somebody.
I mean, since he's on SmackDown, that means he'd be lurking around Roman.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's gonna try to cash in a bunch of times, and the Usos have to come in to stop him.
I don't know. We'll have to see. I have no idea what's going to happen. I'm very happy that he's got it, though.
Or what if he's just holding it and then you just see Paul Heyman just sneaking up behind him?
Yeah. Roman! But whatever. And then the last match happened, which was Roman Reigns versus Edge. And I like Edge's entrance. He came out, he did his thing. He sat there and had the music, did the pyro. It was all good.
Every time he does his entrance now, he goes to the crowd. He's like, yeah, give it to me. Yeah, give it to me.
What the fuck was that?
That's what Edge does. He's like, give it to me. Yeah.
Well, because there's crowds there, of course. I mean, that's what I'd be hyped up too. Give it to me. It didn't sound like how I said it. He sounds closer to you, but I don't know. I don't know. I liked Edge come out. He did his thing. It was great. And then he, got ready for his match.
And then whenever he does his pyro, he's like, ah!
Well, you didn't grow up watching him do his stuff, so he's hyped. You didn't grow up watching that shit. I did. But like after this, he took his jacket off. He's sitting there waiting for Roman. Nothing happens.
It's like a long time.
It got to the point where it's uncomfortably a long time. Like, what is going on here? And then Roman his music plays. He takes like fucking 30 minutes to get out there.
Roman's like, Paul, we're gonna be longer than Undertaker's entrance now.
We're doing it now. They get out there, and when they finally get out there and the match starts, the bell rings and things like that. The crowd is sitting there freaking cheering, or doing whatever they do. They're just loud and saying stuff that we can't really hear, but if you're in the arena, you can hear it.
There's also that one guy who had a sign that just says Roman the Universal Chump.
Hey, I'm all about it. This is Roman Reigns at his current best right now, because he had a crowd. He's sitting there freaking yelling at him. He's like, I'm winning. I'm beating his ass. What do you want from me? Because it took them a while to actually get started. And I'm like, well, the match fucking start already. Holy shit. Somebody hit somebody. And of course they're filling each other out. And then Reigns slaps Edge. And then Edge eventually slaps Roman.
And then Roman's like, did you just slap me?
Yeah. And then Roman's doing the thing that I probably would have done if I was champion. He's like, champion's advantage. I just get out of the ring. I wait a few seconds, 10 seconds, and I get counted out. And then Paul Heyman was the guy who walked over to him and was like, hey, look, what would your ancestors say? Get back in there and fucking take him out. And he gets back in. He runs back in and punches Edge right in the face. Just from, he runs and Edge just watches him run into him and hit him right in the face. And the match gets underway, and it was a good match of just basically at the beginning, Roman just basically jobbing out Edge the entire fucking time till Edge finally fucking gets his feeling back. And the entire time I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, okay, so it's going to be either Roman Reigns is going to have the Usos come out and distract, or he's going to have, or Seth Rollins is going to come out and distract, because Seth Rollins, he lost Money in the Bank, so therefore he's pissed off.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, and he's been making some moves against Edge for a bit. So I'm like, okay, well, at some point in time, we're going to see this, and Edge is going to have to beat Seth Rollins just so he can get his shine back. I was waiting for it the entire time, and there were really good spots with Roman Reigns, freaking, beating up Edge, and then Edge finally gets his second win and starts beating up Roman.
I just like how Roman just talks to the crowd. He's like, you want to fight me too?
Yeah. You want to fight me too? Come on, bitch. I'm like, I love it. It's great. And then finally, at some point in time, Edge does get into the ring, and he starts freaking trying to get Roman Reigns to tap out. And Roman, he kind of did a little tiny tap.
But he was able to hide it from
able to hide it from the ref. But after that, it was okay. He keeps fighting. He's fighting. Edge gets him in a freaking chokehold again. The Usos come out. And I'm like, yep, see, I told you, Jalen. I told you, boy, it's going to happen.
Then they get attacked.
But then they get attacked by the Mysterios. And they get, shoved back to the back. And then Seth Rollins comes out. He attacks Edge,
just kicks him in the head.
Yeah, just kicks him in the head, giving Roman a chance to sit there and fight him some more. Then they start doing their finishers. And then Roman comes out and attacks Edge again. Not Roman, I'm sorry. Seth comes out and attacks Edge again.
Yeah.
And then that's the thing that Roman needs to sit there and beat the hell out of Edge and give him the 1, 2, 3. Roman is your champion still.
Yeah, and Seth walks in. He's like, if it weren't for me, you wouldn't be champion. And Roman's like, get out of my face.
I know. What are you doing? Get out of my face.
It's like, what are you doing here?
Yeah, and then Edge fucking gets up, and of course he's pissed off. Why wouldn't he be pissed off?
Yeah, and he just starts chasing Seth.
Yeah, and so their rivalry is going to happen. And then as soon as that went down, I'm thinking okay, the music's going to play for Roman Reigns, and then we're going to go off the air. John Cena's music starts playing.
Yeah.
And he comes out, and he's looking a bit rough. Like, he's not looking like he's as buff. He's got some wrinkles on his face. You know, his haircut, I don't like it. I don't know. He's looking a bit rough, in my opinion. I don't know what's going on there. But whatever. He's back. And I guess he's here to challenge Roman Reigns.
Yeah, he high-fived the cameraman.
Yeah, all that stuff, you know, which is fine. It's good. You know, but then Roman's just like, whatever. And then the show goes off the air.
It's just like how every time someone wants to challenge Roman, just sits there. He's like, "Who are you again?"
Yeah, right. John something.
He's like, "Didn't I beat you?
I beat you once a while back. Your name is John something, right?" So, Cena, that's what it is. I don't know. I liked it.
He always just does that, and then he just ignores them and just leaves.
Which is what he did. The show went off the air, but then when you look at the YouTube clips later on, you see actually Roman Reigns just has left.
He's like, he just gets past him. He's like, I'm not listening to this.
Yeah, I'm not dealing with this, you know. And so now this Friday we get to see, you know, Roman Reigns come out with the Usos and actually do some bloodline shit, and I'm into it. I want to see it. Once I've seen them all come out at the same time, or they're all in the ring holding the gold, because they're all dripping in gold, is what they keep saying.
Yeah.
Once they get to that point, then I'm in. I'm like, okay, well, I've seen what I wanted to see. Now I'm good. Let's see what happens next.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll never get tired of Roman with the title though, but
I'm not tired of it right now. But now I can, like, the honeymoon is going to be over for me when I see it on SmackDown. Once I see it on SmackDown, then it's over for me. So, but that was Money in the Bank. I enjoyed this whole week of wrestling, I guess. It's not bad.
Yeah.
You know?
So SmackDown's got interesting things going on, and I guess John Cena said he was going to be on Raw.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, well, Raw needs the help.
So we'll go ahead and call that an episode. I'm going to go ahead and plug the YouTube channel, YouTube at Gentleman Jugg. And I also have Instagram at Gentleman Jugg and Facebook as well. And I guess you're going to be in a couple of my episodes, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll be there.
On a couple of them.
Yeah, you'll hear me now.
For a bit. It's not permanent, but it's going to be awesome. We're going to have a great time.
Yeah.
Okay. And, check us out in the next one. Till then, see you next time. The next episode will be ready
when it's ready.